from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Any man who live long like me could never describe all the things they see. Before this festival was about bright lights and glitter,
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. Yes, today is Friday, July the 11th, the final workday of the week. Yes, and as you saw in the clip just a little while, the Tobago Heritage Festival has been officially launched, even though they started on July 1st. The opening gala was last night, July 10th, and you could see it would open in all its glory and spectacularness. Tobago's culture was on display. Yes, Tobago's culture was showing off last night. Things were looking pretty good, and it's boding well for the season to come. Yes, I hope that you're up and you're ready to go. Last working day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Find that energy and let's get this day done with. Let us tackle this day with a lot of energy and excitement. Yes, we have a lot to talk about in this upcoming segments for this morning show. As usual, we're going to have Marcus on for a sports segment, and we have a bit of a reverend or our pastor in to speak with us concerning the recent announcements by the Prime Minister. But before we get into any of that, we go to our news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Akinlabi. Good morning. I am Lavian Cupid, and here's what's making your news in 90 seconds for Friday, July 11th, 2025. Yesterday, Minister in the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, Michelle Benjamin, officially met with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine at the Hotel Charles Administrative Complex. In a release posted on social media, the Chief Secretary said the meeting was both productive and timely, noting the official opening of the Tobago Heritage Festival Gala last evening. The Chief further explained that both dignitaries engaged in meaningful dialogue on measures to be implemented to better align Tobago and Trinidad's cultural community development efforts while respecting each island's unique identities. It noted Minister Benjamin's interest to revive the Best Village competition, which she described as vital for nurturing community spirit, celebrating local talent and preserving traditional arts. The minister confirmed that Tobago will host a Best Village camp, which will be a training program tailored for youths. Up next, veteran attorney Martin George held a press briefing yesterday afternoon addressing the recent charges of indecent and grievous sexual assault laid against him by the TTPS. In addressing the media, George firmly maintained his innocence in the matter and further stated that he would vigorously defend himself against accusations. George made parallel comparisons of his incident to that of international public figures that have faced similar situations, to which he said, quote, "The easiest thing is for a female to make an allegation of sexual misconduct against a male, and then the man is left fighting for his life, trying to defend his name, character, and integrity, end quote. However, in an unexpected announcement, George revealed plans to marry his fiancée, Alicia Mutu, in the coming months. Mutu declared her unwavering support to George in the face of the allegations. His matter was adjourned to October 7th for a status hearing. His legal team comprises of attorney Ramesh Lawrence Muraj, SC, and John Heath, SC. And finally, in news of crime, 33-year-old Scott Rambaran has been found dead. Rambaran of Oropoon Gardens, Piako, was reported missing on Tuesday afternoon after he left home earlier that morning in the company of a friend to purchase a vehicle. His body was found in his own car in some bushes near Mosika Road South on Thursday evening at around 4:30 p.m. The father of one, who was allegedly supposed to meet the seller in Arima, reportedly had $25,000 on his person. A truck driver spotted the vehicle and called authorities, where his body was subsequently discovered. Investigations are continuing. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Lavion, for the news in 90 seconds. And we see there the synergy is continuing between the new central government administration and the THA. We see that the culture minister, having meetings with the representatives from the Tobago House of Assembly, and talking about working better together and revitalizing Best Village in Tobago, and I guess in Trinidad and Tobago as well. So we see positive signs of cultural synergy between the two islands.
Yeah, and we're hoping that it will continue. Well, I mean, it's something that we should expect with any administration, but I think that there is a particular level of expectancy right now in the atmosphere. So Tobagonians are expecting a much more
cordial kind of relationship, cooperative relationship between the two administrations.
Definitely. I mean, and as I just said, as it should be. And well, I mean, we're looking forward to the budget as well coming up. That's where I think Tobagonians have that bullseye target looking at. We're looking to see, well, is this going to be our time? Is this going to be the time?
Yes.
Is this the time that we are definitely going to see that difference? And I mean, as you said, a much more friendly and cordial synergies working together with central government and the THA, as it should be.
Yes, I think that, as you mentioned, the budget, I think that budget is really the marker of judgment on how the relationship between these two administrations would be moving forward. So we really await to see what kind of, I don't want to call it goodies, but what kind of share of the pie the Tobago House of Assembly will get.
Deservedly so.
Yes, moving on to another story in the newscast is very unfortunate, but the case with Mr. Rambaran, meeting his demise as he went to purchase a vehicle. And I just want to take this opportunity to continue to caution young men, because we only see young men falling victim to this crime. I don't think I've ever read an article where a woman has fallen victim to this crime. Young men, please be careful of the persons you are purchasing vehicles from. We've seen this story time and time again in the newspapers, on the stations. We don't want to see these stories coming up anymore. Be very, very, very cautious.
And even if you recall, Akinlabi, I mean, many years ago, there was a time that Tobagonians, young Tobago men were going to Trinidad, and that is what was happening. We had quite a few of them went to Trinidad with this lump sum of money on their person and would have been subsequently murdered. And so it is really sad. I think the thing is, we always think, I know the possibility of it happening, but no, the man song real good on the next end. It wouldn't be me. Those songs, no. And I too bright for that. I too smart. I know, I talk to the person and his song's legitimate, but never. Never. You always have to err on the side of caution. Yeah,
and I think that if you want to buy a second-hand vehicle, buy from somebody that's reputable, that they have a track record of trading vehicles, or buy from somebody that you know personally.
Or utilize the police station and utilize a manager's check. Why are we walking around
with that's cash? The thing. You could utilize something like a manager's check, but I was watching social media this morning and somebody was saying that one of their friends tried to utilize a police station one time to conduct a transaction for a vehicle, and the police told them this is not a place of business, you can't come and do it here. So in the cases that you may not be able to utilize a police station, utilize a manager's check or utilize the banks.
But I think I remember clearly the TTPS declaring that you can come to their compounds in cases like this.
Well, in that case, that police officer
that.
needs to be informed, or they need to be reminded of what the policy is.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is quite unfortunate, yeah, to protect and serve. And we already know that crime is one of our biggest problems. And if there's any way, the simplest way that you could help curb that,
Yeah,
that is where we should serve. Definitely there. And I mean, even on the topic of a veteran attorney, Martin George, announcing his nuptials, his pending nuptials yesterday.
A strange way to announce it, but I guess he just wants to get the word out there. But
Get the word out, yeah.
That's the most I could do is just shrug my shoulders concerning that. But
And this is another age-old story, right?
yes.
Yeah, but again, kudos to all involved.
Okay, thank you very much, Lavian, for that news in 90 seconds.
You
And now,
have a
ladies
good
and
day.
gentlemen, it's time to celebrate with those who are celebrating with us. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. Yes, and at Tobago Updates Television, we like to celebrate those who are celebrating with us, and we start off with wishing Mr. Jerome Henry. Yes, Mr. Jerome Henry, happy birthday to you. Today is your special day. We pray God's richest blessings in your life, and we pray that you are safe today. Today, you know the roads are wet lately, and whatever celebrations you plan to do today, you conduct it in a proper manner. You are moderate in all the things you do, you don't overdo it, and you remain safe, and God's richest blessings to you. We continue, and we say happy birthday to Miss Karine Webster. Happy birthday to you, Miss Webster. God's richest blessings in your life as well. We know today is your special day, and you'll be surrounded with family and friends, and we pray that you're showered with all good gifts today. Yes, showered with all good gifts today. Happy birthday to you. Up next, we say happy birthday to Dr. Ellis Boris. Yes, Dr. Ellis Boris, he's a well-known figure in the Tobago space. We wish you happy birthday, sir. And we know that you have had a well-storied and fulfilling life, and we continue to pray that the rest of your life to come, that you have it just as fulfilling or even more fulfilling, and you find comfort and joy in the Lord. And finally, we say happy birthday to Miss Gia Williams. Happy birthday to you, Miss Gia Williams. Yes, today is your special day. We hope that you surround yourself with friends and family, and you truly celebrate in a fitting manner. Happy birthday to you, Miss Williams. Yes, and for those of you celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or any other thing that you would like to celebrate, you can send your information to us at Tobago Updates. Yes, and we will celebrate with you. Well, coming up in our newscast today, we have on Pastor Clive Dutton, who's a former member of the Police Service Commission, and he's going to give his take on the drinking, gambling, and marijuana use age increase. And then afterwards, that's going to be an extended interview. And then afterwards, we're going to have Marcus Daniel, yes, coming to do his usual Friday morning sports segment. So that's what we have for you today. So those of you viewing on channels 102 on AMPLIA or 121 and 130 on Flow, we ask you to do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
You want to make all a mess there in this so yard?
Me, auntie?
Me know what to do with you and your father again, you know. But I tired tell you cannot be having the yard like this. Nola, you okay? You so look worse than that yard here.
It's my stomach pain.
Hey, you lying in cold no there, you know.
Lying in cold?
You're expecting?
Expecting who?
You're pregnant?
No. You?
Hey, if you're pregnant, it have certain things you cannot consume, eh? Lining and all them things that's so bush no there, bush a serious business.
Auntie is nothing like that. Just
My
belly
name is
pain.
Tina
And that is why I
Macmillan,
make
your last year's third place winner and the Miss Photogenic for last year's Miss Heritage Personality Show. And this year, I want to carry you with me for my Tobago Heritage experience. I'll be hosting with Tobago Updates, bringing you live coverage behind the scenes and also their giveaways. Tickets to the heritage events and a 2-night stay to the Manzalina Grand. So you need to stay locked on to Tobago Updates on all their social media platforms, Keena Macmillan on Facebook and originalmedusa.tv on TikTok. My Tobago Heritage Experience with Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I'm a brush back, brush back. Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I'm a brush back, brush back. Do something and do something.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window from yours, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but my cousin Tufina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me pick me them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trace Springer down by the place down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trace Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. Yes, and I have in studio with me my new co-host, Lavian Cupid. Good morning.
Good morning, Akinlabi again.
Yes, it's nice
Pleasure
to
to
have
be
you in
here,
studio
filling
with
in
us.
for the lovely Adana this morning. Good morning,
Yes.
Adana.
So we have on the line with us, ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Clive Dutton, who is the former commissioner of who's a former member, of the Police Service Commission, and he's here to give his views on drinking, gambling, and the marijuana use age increase announced announced by the Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning. It's a privilege to be here. I have to use my phone this morning because my computer. I'm in America right now, in St. Louis, Missouri, attending a massive global leadership conference, which happens once every 5 years for the church. So I'm happy to be on your program this morning.
Pastor Dutton, you said praise God for the age increase. So just expound on that and tell us your thoughts on the Prime Minister's proposal.
Well, when the government and the opposition, but there was a reverse. When the PNM was in power, the present government was in opposition. I had criticized both of them when they decriminalized the issue of marijuana. And to be fair to Fitzgerald Hines, I took part in a symposium. I was also out of the country. And he said you'll have to revisit that because of the challenges that you have. Let me just go a little deeper into this. As you know, we have a rehab center, the church. I'm chairman of the board at this issue of folks addicted to marijuana. So they spend 6 months at the rehab center, so that I'm privileged to have certain information. And I am fighting this war against drugs over 40 years. And what happened when you decriminalized it was that the turfs became smaller. All right, that's the first thing that happened. And you had more people, new people, into the drug dealing or drug pushing or drug distribution business. So that's the geopolitics, if I should say that, of the turf wars. And that increased your murder rate. Okay? And then you had a lot of young people, all right, had access to it that didn't previously have access to it. So you had a compound problem, all right, that didn't help with the level of criminality in the country. So when I heard her, all right, the report on, I think, the Monday night program that they have restarted, the UNC, so to speak, have restarted, and I heard the issue of the gambling and the age, for alcohol, and especially for marijuana. No, I would not have minded if the whole, it was banned completely. But that, when you have to face reality, that will not happen. However, raising the age to 25, particularly for marijuana. Now, alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs in the world. Let us not get away from that. One of the most dangerous drugs and frequently used. When I study how alcohol is consumed at Christmas time, I say, how paradoxical that takes place, and alcohol is destroying several lives, several families. There's still abuse, there's still strokes, there's still paralysis, there's still brain damage. All of that it's with alcohol. Cirrhosis of the liver. I had an uncle who was a chronic drinker, so I know about that firsthand. And don't talk about gambling in the schools. Gambling dens in the schools, and the issue of even cocaine distribution. But the marijuana has some devastating effects that people are not aware of. Now, I want to say about marijuana that I mentioned in my note on my interview with the Newsday. The issue of marijuana impact on the brain. A lot of people, and I want to warn the government, not only do you have to raise the age limit, but there has to be a tremendously consistent program of education in the schools of the country. Because although you raise the age limit there to 25, you really don't want any more young people using it whatsoever. All right? You just don't want that.
Pastor Dutton?
Yes.
Just jumping in here on a point that you were just alluding to when you talked about psychological. You mentioned something in your article about the AIM motivational syndrome. Could you expound on that a bit for me?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, let me expand on that, and I'm happy to. Now, to be honest with you, even about 10 years into my fight against marijuana, that's about 30 years ago, those of us who never wanted it to be smoked, and the liberals, both of us agreed at one point that it decreases your ability to be motivated, to have a dream, to have a vision. And hello, God has people everywhere. I don't feel only Seventh-day Adventists would be saved. I think God has good people in every religion, every race. Christian, non-Christian. I feel that way. And it's amazing that a girl from associate professor, all right, of addictionology in Harvard University, the Center for Addiction, and her name is Dr. Jody Gilman. She has been receiving a lot of hate mail. Why is she receiving hate mail? Well, I'll tell you why she's receiving hate mail. Because she came up with a research and she published it 5 years ago. That's relatively recent when coming to research. And she published that the nucleus accumbens in the cerebral cortex, the nucleus accumbens that deals with vision, motivation, and learning is damaged by marijuana. From the time she released that, you know, they say men love darkness rather than light because their deeds are evil. You know what happened to her? She received a lot of hate mail and death threats because she published her research findings. Dr. Jody Gilman.
That's so unfortunate.
Yes,
but also, if I go back a bit to your opening statement, you spoke about the rehab center, and your rehab center. Could you just tell me where in Trinidad it is located? But also, I want you to tell me, if you can, and if you do have the stats, what is the youngest age group, and for what substances you see coming into your rehab center, and how successful are these individuals after the program, and what is probably the recidivism rate? How many times do you see them coming back into the center, or that you see them back out on the streets? So could you give me some stats on that?
Now, globally, for cocaine, the recidivism rate is 80% when it comes to cocaine. Thank God in our center, it's what I would call half and half, 50-50. So we have had, and I believe it was because of a strong spiritual component. Let me say this to you. I have parents. Now, we don't take young people below the age of 15, right? We don't take them, all right? Because you have some senior men in the program, and it's an all-male program. We do our outreach for females, but we don't have any. It is strictly a male program. Now, so the recidivism rate, all right, is heavy globally. I want to mention that. And it's no different in Trinidad. Now, for success to take place after the 6 months, all right, we have an outpatient program where we visit these young people. We keep in touch with their parents by phone. We started a program that is an internationally acknowledged program, post-recovery, and it's called FIT, F-I-T, which is Family Intervention Therapy. The Family Intervention Therapy centers around the MIP. So you have the FIT and you have the MIP. This is an internationally approved program where you discover who is the most important person in the life of the addict, all right? And that person plays a critical role, and it takes 4 sessions with the family. You meet with the MIP, the most important person. You meet with the family minus the addicts. So you meet with the family and the MIP, all right? And then after that, you integrate. You have a program we call reintegration into the family, where you have therapy sessions with the family and the addict, okay? So we utilize that program called FIT, Family Intervention Therapy, so that what I was told by addicts in the center, and I was told by one of their managers, Brother Keith Stewart, who used drugs, marijuana and cocaine for 30 years. And he was telling me, once you decriminalize that, you're going to see an explosion, an exponential explosion when it comes to the issue of marijuana use. And that's exactly what you have, because when you have parents coming to you telling you about their 12-year-old and their 13-year-old using the marijuana because of I went to a home at the top of the hill in Lopino, and they were growing it.
Pastor Dutton,
yes.
As you mentioned an explosion in the use of marijuana. I know one of the motivations behind the decriminalization would have been to ease up the court system and perhaps the work of the police, the burden on the police service. With this increase in the age limit, what do you think would be the effect on the police service and the court system as well? And do you think that we have that capacity within our police service and court system to do that rigorous amount of enforcement that you're calling for?
Well, as you noticed, when I made this statement, I made an original statement, which I haven't posted on Facebook yet, and then I had the interview with news. So the enforcement is going to be a challenge. I want to tell you that. The enforcement is going to be a challenge there, because at this point in time, they're going to have to appoint a special unit to deal with the issue of enforcement, also a special unit to head out to the schools, because you have a lot of young people using, and they would feel that since enforcement is always a problem, they are going to get away. So they will keep using. And remember, addiction is not an easy thing it's just not legislation. It will call for parental supervision. It will call for alertness by this particular force unit in the police service. Particularly, they're going to have to call upon the prison ministry, all right, the juvenile prison officers to be alert to, all right, so that it will call for the entire city to rally around this to make it what I call a productive possibility. So there's going to be a challenge there.
Pastor,
I could admit.
Yeah, so we had on Mr. Gary Griffith, Captain Gary Griffith, yesterday morning, and he spoke to the fact that when he tried to enforce the age limit when he was 18 years old, he got a lot of pushback from the police officers under him.
He did.
So as a former commissioner, do you think that there is that kind of motivation within the TTPS to really want to enforce this age limit?
Well, I listened to the new commissioner of police, and I like how he sounds. When he was first appointed, now he was out in the blue. I never expected him to be. I didn't even know about him, to be frank with you. But he will have to be firm, all right, and enforce significant amount of discipline, because part of the problem with your police service happens to be the corrupt rogue elements. All right, that's number one. Who might stoop when they hear about the law and say nobody go take on that. All right. So you have the rogue element in the police service to deal with. And then you have the issue of division, all right, among the ranks. That he will have to unite that service behind this Mount Everest, because it's a Mount Everest. And he has to make sure, all right, that the supervisors under him, the first division officers, the deputy commissioners, the assistant commissioners of police, the inspectors and the sergeants, particularly, all right, are positive, are motivated, are stimulated to make this thing a reality, because too many of our young people vaping and smoking ganja from as young as 11 and 10 and 9. That is what you have right now. Okay, so this is a first step in trying to curb this disease of addiction, especially among our under 15 group. Which, let me tell you something. I mean, I don't want to sound alarmist, but there's a major problem that you have. The pushback that Gary spoke about, former Commissioner Griffith, yes, there was the pushback, and there'll be a pushback against that. You have people already saying, don't worry them. But I'm glad certain organizations like the chambers and what have you have stated their support for this initiative, and even some political analysts, all right, and even some people in the medical circle who have to grapple with young people, and the clinical psychologists and psychiatrists who are seeing up in their face, firsthand, what is taking place here with this. And they have given support to this bill.
And on the topic of enforcement, continuing along this topic, Pastor, what do you think, in your opinion, would be the right measures for the youth? Would it be community service, a fine, prison time? What are you thinking?
All right, let me go back to something you raised, both of you raised in the first part of this interview. Now, the population, I'm sorry to say this, but the population was fooled into believing that when you decriminalize it, hundreds of people would leave the prison. That has not happened and will not happen, and I'll tell you why. All you have done, I mean, the DPP, all right, Brother Roger Gaspard, I believe his heart is in the right place, but all you did was put a lot of pressure on him, because actually, just by the passing of a bill, I mean, people just come out of the jail by scores. So I am saying, for the very young ones, a ticket, a fine, you understand, will be the way forward. I feel that is the way forward. I have always believed you didn't have to jail people for 2 joints, if you understand where I'm coming from. So that you have to be wise in the framing of the bill. And I think generally, I think they're looking at the British model and the other model, all right, the very liberal model in Holland, and see what some of the states in America are doing. But with all of the new government looking at the various models internationally, there must be consequences when people are found doing this. Now, let's go to alcohol, if you don't mind. The bar owners will have to be held accountable, because the point is, young people just going to walk into a bar and say, "Hey, look my ID, look my age, look my birth certificate." Bar owners will have to use their discretion in this, because young people sometimes look older than they really are. Okay, so I want to mention this. So all of that comes into the fray. But I want to tell bar owners, the issue of young people coming in and you ignoring the law, there has to be consequences for you too. And there must be consequences for drug dealers who continue to sell marijuana to minors. All right? And I talk about folks under 18 and what have you there. So everybody, bar owners, all right, drug dealers, teachers in schools, especially secondary schools. And this talk poet, all right, Sandy, talks a lot about the infiltration of drugs in the primary school. In fact, he has a whole poem on that. And we have had private conversations on this. So this is not just a secondary school infiltration by the drug dealers in the community, but primary school infiltration. So Faro came to me from Central. Hello?
I know we could talk for hours, 2, 3, 4 hours going on,
yes,
but
yes.
we have to wrap up the interview. But before, I want to ask you one final question. You've spoken ad nauseum about the addiction crisis that we're facing with our young people. And the law is just our first part, like you mentioned. What do you think, in terms of a holistic strategy, we could employ to really tackle this problem and bring it under control? Do you think that an interagency task force with various ministries and agencies coming together to come up with one national policy is the best way forward?
I think that's the best way forward. And I was leaving that to be my last bouncer. You asked Yorker, the issue of an interagency task force, all right, within the police service primarily, because they will have the majority of the responsibility. So you need to have that one. Then you need to have an interministerial task force, and I'll tell you who: Youth, Health and Education and National Security. Well, they have Homeland Security. Those 4 ministries must come together to make a difference. The other thing is there are 2 major programs internationally for schools in terms of drug prevention. One is Youth to Youth, and the other is Youth Alive. So I would ask the government to research and look at those 2 models of prevention, because you see, along with the legislation, you have to have a strong drug prevention program. That is what you have to have. In California, they have a model what they call it retirees model for prevention. All right, and the police have a program called DARE. So that those programs must be carefully researched. All right, one size doesn't fit all. So you need to have all these programs coming together. You need to have the drug prevention conferences in the schools. All of that, must take place. Apart from the interministerial task force, apart from the issue of the interagency task force, you need to have a core of volunteers who will flood the schools and give the young people the motivation to remain drug-free. A lot of young people, the younger they use, the research is showing the harder it is to come off of this stuff. That goes for pornography, that goes for gambling, that goes for alcohol use and marijuana use and cocaine use.
Thank you very much, Pastor Clive Dutton. Thank
Man,
you very much.
A privilege. I saw your boy Damien, he's in St. Louis, Missouri with me.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you so much. God bless. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Pastor Clive Dutton, a former member of the Police Service Commission, and giving his more than 2 cents on the drinking, gambling, and marijuana use age increase proposed by the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a break, but when we come back on the other side, Marcus Daniel will be here with his sports segment. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Taught me how to let a boy quote me.
All right. Go for the boy and let me talk some sense into him, now, man. And go quick, because that mother she go stop at nothing.
But what about daddy? What if he don't change his mind?
Hey, one thing at a time. Go and get the boy.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Lights, cameras, dance on 12th edition on Saturday the 12th of July, 5 p.m. The Chopin Cultural Complex Auditorium. See our dancers, all ages, compete in waltz, jive, rumba, salsa, mambo, and much more. Our Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Who will take home the Mirror Ball Trophy? Mrs. Takiana Ned Augustine, the wife of the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Miss Lynette Louis, vocalist entertainer. Mrs. Cassandra Thompson Forbes, journalist and Tobago correspondent. Mr. Javon Carrington, founder and head trainer of Dosfit Studios. And Mr. Julian Skeet, administrator and former TV host. After show, dance party with DJ Santa out of Trinidad. Early bird tickets, adults $200, children $75, and general tickets, adults $250 and children $100. Get your early bird tickets now from Dance Ensemble members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford the 24 gas station in Canaan, and the Chopin Cultural Complex box office. For more information, you call 772-9049 and 340-5758. You can't miss this one.
Hello, New York! Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission. Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. I forget to tell all you, it's the 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 GB fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hey viewers, welcome back, and of course, thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. We are into the best segment on a Friday, the sporting segment. It's Friday, 11th July, of course, already midway in 2025. And of course, this morning, I have with me in studio members of the Oceanos Dragon Boat Club. I have Captain Jumo Daniel, PRO Damian Leach. We're going to be talking about their performances out there in Canada, the Pan American Club Crew Championships 2025. Let me say good morning to you guys.
Hey, good morning, Marcus. How are you doing?
Fantastic, and thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I mean, how was out in the cold?
Cold.
It was cold.
Right. But it was fantastic, a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
I really must say it was an eye-opener for us, right, as to the level of competition out there in Canada, Montreal, which is one of the biggest dragon boat nations, right? And you come to the realization where the sport that you love, others love it so very much, right? And the passion that you display, they may even have a little bit more passion than you. Yeah.
So in preparing to go to Canada, because I mean, you guys have been doing this for what? You went somewhere last year. You went 2
years ago. That was
was
Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
It seemed like last year. Panama, you went, right? And in preparing for Canada, I'm sure that you guys will have done your homework in terms of who are you going to be competing against. So tell me about the preparation for the competition and what you met there.
All right. Well, preparation for the competition. Now, when we went to Panama, it was for the Pan American Club Crew Championships, which is what we went for.
Right. Again this year, yeah.
So the preparation was basically the same. And this one was just a little different because in Canada, we are going to race in fresh water.
Oh,
as opposed to salt water. Right. The salt water is a lot lighter, a lot more buoyancy.
So you move faster. You move faster on the fresh water.
Basically,
Oh, because it's not choppy. It's not choppy.
Right.
But then where in Tobago you guys practice in terms of the fresh water?
We practice in the lagoon.
In the lagoon? Where?
That's down Pigeon Point.
Yeah, up no man's land.
At no man's land.
Right.
So you have that little mix of fresh water and salt water. So those were the best conditions that we could find that would simulate what we were going to encounter in Canada. Right. On racing in Canada, you know, you get that first that first taste of that water, and he said, hey, guys, we have to tweak. We have to tweak and we have to change up certain things, because one of the challenges that we face also were the boats. These were their newest model boats, which were a lot lighter, and the design was one where it's a lot tippier.
And what do we have here?
What we have here is more the older model boats. Right. And we knew that we were going to encounter this, so we tried to do the best simulations possible. So when we go up there, it's not as difficult. And one thing, we are still beginners. We are solid people. We heavy, right?
Right. So we light.
Right. We heavy. So when we reach in those boats, we had to launch those boats to keep it above the water to compete against these teams who were used to these boats all the time, right? It was a really nice fight. It was a really nice challenge, and we were up to it.
Yeah, and as Captain Jomo, right? I mean, obviously you would have your plans going into the event in terms of your strongest team for the different categories, right? And Damien mentioned in terms of Tobago, it's very heavy, and then you saw guys who were lighter. I mean, as captain, how did you maneuver? How did you change your strategy? Because obviously you want to compete and you want to go there and win. How did you change, or what was your strategy to compete and actually come, high up in the rankings?
Right. So what we did basically, first we have to analyze what was going on in the competition.
Right.
All right. So we saw certain stuff, and we started to play with like rate, like stroke rate, and like the stats, how many more fast rates you would do on the stats basically, and them kind of stuff. So that is how we kind of compensated, you could say, basically for that that offset.
Right. And then you all had the opportunity to practice as well, like before race days?
Yeah, only 2 days we got to practice. Based on trying to change up stuff and those kind of things.
Yeah. So and tell me about the makeup of your teams. How many teams you had to compete? I know you guys went with women as well.
Right.
Tell me about the teams.
Right. So configuration. So we ran in the open competition, which is all male, and the mixed competition, which is female and male. Right. So it was 5 female, 5 male, based on the mixed competition.
Yeah. And so it was free. So you participated in mixed, women and all male.
Yeah, mixed. No, not females. We didn't run
we
didn't do all females this time around. Right. So it was mixed and open.
Again, how many persons make up a team?
10. Yeah, because it's a 10-man competition we took part in.
Okay, so tell me about the competitions and I mean, how did you guys place and all these different things?
Right, so we did not medal in this event, but we made it to all the finals in all the categories.
Right.
Based on what it is.
And I'm guessing like with Dragon Boat, I mean, I spoke to someone and asked about the prices and stuff. And there isn't much. Well, they say cash prizes out there. So for you guys, like bragging rights, is there like a points, like a rankings per year, and you go to a different level? How does it work?
Right. So yes, it is for bragging rights. So you truly have to love this sport. Right. And they do keep note of your performance in all of these regattas on island. International regattas, there's a record of it, and your rankings rise and fall accordingly. So you have to keep on entering all your competitions and ensure that your rankings stay up there, right? One thing to note, at this regatta, we were racing against athletes who are at the level of their national teams, because next week there's going to be the World Championship. This is where Dragon Boat nations come to meet, and they're doing it in Germany. So on the water there, amongst those clubs, you had candidates for a national team and teams,
in
right?
Each club,
in each club that we were racing.
So do we have representation there, Trinidad and Tobago?
No, we don't.
So is that a goal for Oceanos in together?
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. That is the dream, that we have that national team where we can go and represent on that bigger stage, and even more so over. One of the dreams of every dragon boater in the world right now is that we get accepted into the Olympics. Right. So there's a very strong possibility that may happen.
Because dragon boat is just dragon boat or rowing? Is it rowing?
No, this is paddling.
Oh, so in the Olympics we have dragon boat?
No, not as yet.
Not as yet. Oh, so you're hoping that that's going to be okay.
So thus far there has been a number of negotiations, and they have reached a certain point where we're nearly there. So persons are waiting to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
So tell me about the countries that you guys raced against, and who are the countries that, got the better of you guys? Because you say you placed, or you medaled.
Yeah.
No, we did not medal.
You did not medal?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we placed in all the finals. We got to all the finals.
Okay, so give us a breakdown of how does it go? Is what 12 teams start off and then you get to to 5, and how does it? Give us a breakdown there.
Well, first off, in this competition, they had been close to 200 teams. Right. In a number of
multiple
different
teams. Coming from so like Canada may have had like about 15 teams.
Correct.
Right,
15
okay.
clubs. Yeah.
15 clubs. Yes.
All right. The furthest club came from the Ukraine, actually. We had clubs from Ukraine, Mexico, Panama, and various other countries that came to this Pan American Games. So, and then you have the different categories. You even had junior categories, because there were some teams from Trinidad, right? Some junior teams that came up. We were the only senior team that was basically there, along with Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Right. So you have under 16, under 24, under 18, and then now you go up into Premier, which is where we were. Right, Premier, then there's Senior A, Senior B, Senior C. And you have persons going all up to age 65 who's in Senior C and competing in this sport. So when you have that amount of clubs, let's say about 20 something clubs, and all of them are in Premier.
Yeah.
Right?
I can get that.
And these teams, they live this sport every day, because we race at the Olympic Basin, and all they do is just water sports alone. Their facilities are top tier. They're prepared for this, man.
Like Jumo, so like in the Olympics, right? Sometimes you go out there and you didn't get a medal, but you probably achieve your personal best.
Yes.
In terms of Oceanus and timing and stuff, I know it. Obviously, getting a trophy, getting a medal would have been like top tier in that sense. What about your performances? Did you improve? Tell me about the
improvement. So there were a lot of improvement based on times, because one of the things that we really aspire or really try to achieve every time we go into a regatta, we try to improve our times.
Yes, most
right.
important.
And especially in the 500 meter, we did improve our times significantly. In each stage of it, we did. So all in all, it was a good takeaway from this regatta, because we really improved on all of our time.
And what do you see Oceanos needing to next time you go to Canada and go against these big teams? What do you see?
I'm hoping that the THA, having a look at this. What we need is equipment. We need newer boats. We need to streamline into the kids, into getting the kids into the program, right? To make sure it's something that will grow. You must see. And what you want in this is equipment and people to supply this.
So if we had to sell to the THA now, because track and boat is not one of the popular sports like football or cricket and basketball. I'm sure this is probably the first time some people probably hearing about Oceanos and about drag and boating, but it seems to be a very fun sport. And then you mentioned over 200 countries or 200 clubs participated. So it's a spectacle.
Right, so let me interject on that.
Tell me.
So in 2019 when we had Pan American, right, Dragon Boat, I don't know, I think they noted it.
That's when we had it at Pigeon Point.
Right. So this was one of the sports that brought the biggest contingency of people to the island.
So it's known to Tobagonians.
Of course,
it's known to Tobagonians. But in terms of the state of Dragon Boat in Tobago, are you guys the only club that compete internationally now or nationally?
Yes,
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. So, because I remember some years ago we had there's a team from Wasta, was Aquaforce, and we had some other teams. And we also had the Tobago regatta as well. What's happening there with that?
Well, boy, those things I don't know, they just die down based on I think the interest of I had to say the heads basically. Right, who usually used to sponsor the regatta, right? So basically, What to say basically?
I mean, this is a sport that can draw so many different cultures together, right? On the island and in any other country, right? Because once you have an event here, other countries are going to come in their masses. And one point to note, even for that Pan American Club crew in 2019, you had all these different countries who came and enjoyed the atmosphere and being able to come here and train and race in these weather conditions where out in the cold, they literally have to wait for the summer period to get onto the water. They found this was amazing. You're not getting this anywhere else.
Yeah, as I was a volunteer in that event, and I found it to be very amazing. And I mean, I still have contact with, because I volunteered for, I think, a team from Canada as well. And I still have good friendship with the guys from that club. So you mentioned, you build friendships that will last forever. So I really hope that the powers that be, we can get back that Dragon Boat event, because I remember there was an opening ceremony, a parade in the streets, and then they would have gone down to Pigeon Point, and that's where you guys still have the boats for today, because they would have had to purchase boats and stuff. I mean, what's the age dynamics with your club? Because in Trinidad, I know that they have the schools participating as well. Is that something that you want happening in Tobago as well?
Yeah, most definitely. That has been a goal of ours, to get Dragon Boat into the schools, because you need that succession planning. You need it. And the dynamics of our team is one where we have late 20s going up into late 40s, even past 50s. And I would tell you, this is the one sport that you can actually grow old in, right? As compared to any other sports. As I said before, you had teams abroad. Some of the oldest age was 65 going up to 75, right? But in our dynamic here, one of the things that's kept us up is that continuous training to keep our bodies up to mark to be able to perform at that level. We need some young guns coming in. We need some young guns. So we have to get into the schools.
So tell, can persons join your club? Where do you train, and who can they contact, and all these different things?
Yeah, I'll let Captain this one.
Yeah, well, they can contact myself, Jumo Daniel, right? And training days, we will schedule that when they contact us. I think, because sometimes we have a land training too by my residents. Right. So it's all in contacting on the site. I think we have a
you could message us on Oceanos Tobago. Right.
That's on Facebook.
Yeah, that's on Facebook and on Instagram.
On Instagram. Okay.
You could just DM us.
Okay. And what's next for Oceanos?
Next for Oceanos, Pan American Club Crew Championship, Brazil.
That's where next year? Next 3 years?
Next 2 years.
Next 3 years.
2027.
So, I mean, next 3 years, you guys will be coaches, not next
we're going strong. We're going strong.
You're going right in, because you mentioned you can participate until 50.
Right. But other than that, we have our annual regatta in Trinidad, which is just around October period, right, that we train for all the time, right, and hopefully early next year we may see a Dragon Boat competition back on the shores of Pigeon Point. We're hoping.
And you mentioned sponsorship, right? Any particular group or body that you want to mention would have supported you guys this time around?
Right. So what I will say is the sponsors who would have been with us from before, they maintained it with us, right? We have NLCB, we have Tobago Beyond, we have Eye for Design, right? We also have ATV.
Yeah, ATV General.
ATV General, right? They have given us that support over the years. We're really, really thankful for that.
And the major sponsorship individuals was the ministry in Trinidad, Ministry of Sports and
Ministry of Sport. Yes, they gave us a real big help. Really appreciative for that. Without them, right, we don't know how we would have been able to make it.
I think you all had a job currently too heavy. Guys, any final word before we go?
What can I say? Dragon Boat is a sport that we love, and we want to keep it alive and be able to bring in some more persons into the sport. So y'all come out.
Feel free. Anybody,
free,
anybody who is interested, feel free. Jump right in.
Jump right in. We are recruiting. We definitely are recruiting, and we want to take this sport on the bigger world stage, right? So we can show that true grit of the Tobagonians.
Brazil, looking forward to the next 3 years to see you guys in Brazil, and I'm hoping that, as you mentioned, that we're going to have that Tobago Regatta back up and running. It's something that's a lot of Tobagonians and in fact Trinidadians.
A lot of Trinidadians, more than anything else.
And compete as well. You know, guys, we've been chatting here with Jumo Daniel, captain, and of course Damian Leach, PRO of the Oceanos Dragon Boat Club, and they competed out there in Canada. No medals, of course, and trophies to show this time around, but of course they have achieved some top times, and they are looking forward to Tobagonians joining the movement for the next 3 years, of course, in Brazil. Yes, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned this morning. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Chanel Felix with Good Morning Tobago on this beautiful Friday. Beautiful Friday. Don't forget we have cricket happening at Shaw Park and Plymouth International Youth Tournament here in Tobago. So they can get down there to Shaw Park from 10 a.m. We have 2 matches on there. And of course at Plymouth we have 2 matches. So I'm just told it's not Chanel. This morning is Natalie. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
What has made them live?
You're right, you know. Traditions was never separate from life day to day. That is what I recall as the Tobago way. It was how we move, how we fight, how we sing. We could have stitched a little beauty into everything.
Mama, where?
People gracious in every circumstance, like a true reflection of the belly dance.
My name is Giselle Gittins-Peters, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Tobago Regional Health Authority's Internship Program. I am extremely pleased to bring warm greetings and officially welcome you to our year 2025. As part of its corporate social responsibility, the Tobago Regional Health Authority, under the auspices of our Secretary of Health and our Board of Directors, would have taken a decision in 2023 to host our first internship program. This is our 3rd year. You are our 3rd year. You are part of this hat-trick experience that we are calling Internship 2025. Did I mention that we are happy to have you? Yes. Yes, we are.
It is truly an honor to welcome you to the opening ceremony of the Tobago Regional Health Authority's 3rd edition of its internship program for 2025. To our interns, congratulations. Today you take the first step not only into the world of work, but also into your own leadership journey. This year's theme, Empowering Our Youth to Be Future Leaders, speaks directly to your presence here. You are not just trainees. You are tomorrow's innovators, tomorrow's decision makers, and its change agents.
The theme of this year's internship, Empowering Our Youth to Become Future Leaders, is a true reflection of our commitment at the authority to provide avenues for our youth to be exposed to the dynamic field that is healthcare. We believe that it is our responsibility to broaden public understanding of what healthcare truly entails.
No one is here to hand you an opportunity. Whether you like it or not, life is a competition. You are competing amongst the best of the best to excel in this life. No one's here to feel sorry for you. I'm gonna be point blank with you. You need to excel and go above and beyond for what you want in this life.
Overall, the internship taught me way more than just how to do a job. Because if I be honest at all, I was just studying in the morning. I had to be honest. It gave me real world experience because I was extremely naive as to how the real world was. Coming out of sixth form, I only did sixth form to honestly get away from the real world. I'll always be thankful for the people that I met in the internship, the lessons I learned, and the memories I made.
It's really, really good being here this morning as we welcome you to this TRHA internship program. Yes, it is something that started a couple years ago, and we did it because we are investing in something that is far bigger than just training. Yeah? We are doing something today that is way bigger than just an orientation. What we're doing right now is investing in the future of healthcare in Tobago. What the Tobago Regional Health Authority is doing right now is investing in every single one of you.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Friday, 11th July, and I'm your host, Natalie Seeley Richardson, and you are viewing GMT. Good morning, Tobago. Thank you for staying with us. I know many of you were on for our morning show, and you are still here, and we appreciate it. Of course, we have to start off the morning with our news in 90 seconds. Yesterday, Minister in the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, Michelle Benjamin, officially met with Chief Secretary Fali Augustine at the Ho Choy Charles Administrative Complex. In a release posted on social media, the Chief Secretary said the meeting was both productive and timely, noting the official opening of the Tobago Heritage Festival Gala last evening. The chief further explained that both dignitaries engaged in meaningful dialogue on measures to be implemented to better align Tobago and Trinidad's cultural and community development efforts while respecting each island's unique identities. It noted that the minister's interest to revive the Best Village competition, which she described as vital for nurturing community spirit, celebrating local talent, and preserving traditional arts. The minister confirmed that Tobago will host a Best Village camp, which will be a training program tailored for youths. Veteran attorney Martin George held a press briefing yesterday afternoon addressing the recent charges of indecent and grievous sexual assault laid to him by the TTPS. In addressing the media, George firmly maintained his innocence in the matter and further stated that he would vigorously defend himself against the accusations. George made parallel comparisons of his incident to that of international public figures that have faced similar situations, to which he said, quote, "The easiest thing is for a female to make an allegation of sexual misconduct against a male, and then the man is left fighting for his life, trying to defend his name, character, and integrity." End quote. However, in an unexpected announcement, George revealed plans to marry his fiancée Alicia Mutu in the coming months. Mutu declared her unwavering support to George in the face of the allegations. His matter was adjourned to October 7th for a hearing, and his legal team comprises of attorney Ramesh Lawrence Marad, senior counsel, and John Heath, senior counsel. And finally, in news of crime, 33-year-old Scott Rambaran has been found dead. Rambaran of Oropoon Gardens, Piako, was reported missing on Tuesday afternoon after he left home earlier in the morning in the company of a friend to purchase a vehicle. His body was found in his own car in some bushes near Mausaka Road South on Thursday evening at around 4:30 p.m. The father of one who was allegedly supposed to meet the seller in Arima reportedly had $25,000 on him. A truck driver spotted the vehicle and called authorities, where his body was subsequently discovered. Investigations are continuing. And that was your news in 90 seconds. I just want to say a special good morning to my little cousin Mia this morning. She may be looking on, if not, she'll catch it a bit later, and of course her mom, Keisha. So we get right into our interviews. We have a busy morning, and that's always a good thing because it means you are going to hear some very interesting information and know what's going on around you. This morning, joining me on set are members of the Rotary Club Southwest, and not just members, but we have a former president and the current president with me. We have former president, Miss Anne-Marie Davis. Good morning and welcome. And of course, she's no stranger. I know some of you would say, "Oh, that's my teacher." You might be thinking some Spanish lines in your mind this morning, but I won't go there. And of course, the current president, newly minted, Miss Anisha Caruth. Welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So viewers, you always hear about the Rotary Club. You hear about Rotaract, these institutions. Do you know what they do? Do you know how you can become a member and exactly what's going on? So let's start with Ms. Davis, our former president. Tell us a little about Rotary Club and its core values.
Okay, good morning, viewers, locally and internationally. Rotary Club is a global organization that is committed to doing service to communities. Okay, Rotary clubs, we have several Rotary clubs all over the world, and they are committed to improving the lives of individuals as well as communities. So what Rotary clubs do, we kind of do an assessment. We see where there's a need for assistance, and we move in and we do as much as we can with the resources we can. We are an NGO, so we have to raise all our funds on our own.
Right.
Yeah, so that's basically
And when you talk about Southwest, for those who may not be familiar, Southwest Tobago comprises of what area?
Okay, well, Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago comprises of persons who live in that area of Tobago. We also have Rotary Club of Tobago, which is longer established. That is the more established club.
Right.
So when persons join Rotary, either join Rotary of Southwest Tobago, they had to make a distinction between them. So you have Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago and you have Rotary Club of Tobago. But that one is more established. That one is the longer one.
Okay, yeah. And when we're talking about established and Southwest, how long has this club been in operation?
Okay, well, we celebrated our 20th anniversary last year on the 16th of June. Okay, so this year would be 21 years in existence.
And of course, just for the curiosity of our viewers, how long did you serve? Because I know before Miss Walcott, there's an outgoing president, but you held the presidency prior to that. How long did you serve?
I served in the year 2023 to 2024.
All right, excellent. And it's always good to see when institutions can have core members be around, to help sustain and hand over and be there with that knowledge, not just leave the new ones, the young members coming in on their own, but you have that foundation. So thank you so much, Ms. Davis, for being a part of the Rotary and, of course, providing your support. And let's switch gears a bit to our new president, Ms. Anisha Caruth Walcott. newly minted, if I may say so. Yes, right. So tell us, how do you become president of a esteemed organization as this?
Well, I'm glad you said esteemed. Well, yes. Well, I joined the Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago in the year 2019. I would have served in several capacities as service project chair, treasurer, secretary, foundation chair. So there were different capacities I would have served in at the Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago. So you get an idea of the different roles and functions within the organization before transitioning to presidency. It is not an easy role. It's a lot that you have to take on in terms of leadership, but you will lead with compassion. You will look at the sustainability of the club. You have the experience from those past positions to have an idea of what it takes to lead the club in the direction in which we want to go. So you become a president by serving on different roles, getting an understanding of the Rotary International Foundations, what are our call to action, before you actually take up that role as presidency.
Right. So is it like traditional institutions, organizations where other persons also vie for that office and you have to, lead out maybe in little campaigns or present yourself?
Well,
or is it where you are nominated and you have to agree, okay,
yes,
I will offer myself, yes?
Correct. You are nominated and you agree to offer your services to the club.
Right. Excellent. And I mean, for you to be nominated, it means your peers would have seen something in you and are behind you. So that's excellent. And let me congratulate you in this new seat you will be sitting in as you lead. Let's talk about your presidency. I know that the theme there's a theme, evolve to serve. What does that mean to you?
Okay, well, that's our team for Southwest Tobago.
Yes.
However, there's an overarching team from Rotary International, which is to unite for good.
Right.
Meaning that you're uniting, we're leading with compassion, we're looking at sustainability of the club. So it's just getting that unifying force globally. And taking that for Southwest Tobago, you want to get that unifying force within Tobago. So you target persons from all spheres within life in Tobago, each different community. So we are Rotary Southwest Tobago, but of course we don't focus only on Southwest Tobago. You also want to look at the rural communities. So we want to target persons within the eastern side of Tobago and bring persons within that community, those who would need help, we're looking at sustainability of the environment, we're looking at education, literacy, and all those things. So evolve to serve. We have a president. We also the sponsor club of the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago. President Janae Jones, she was the past president and she is the incoming president. So when you're looking at evolve to serve, you have to look at the younger population as well, that younger generation.
Right.
So we have to factor them into how we lead the club, because with technology, there are so many changes that are going on, and we need to adapt how we lead the club, how we service the club, how we service our communities, and that is when we say we evolve to serve.
Mm-hmm. And of course, viewers, if you do stick around, you'll have the pleasure of meeting Ms. Janae Roberts a bit later on, because we do have her scheduled to sit with me this morning. Ms. Davis, can someone just decide to become a Rotary member, or is it a system where you have to be referred and examined before you do become a member?
Okay, it's really by a referral system. Okay, so you would know persons in your community, maybe in your family space, friends, co-workers. So once you see that person exhibiting the qualities that we need in Rotary, you have to be dedicated, you have to be committed, you have to be willing to give of your time without looking for monetary compensation,
Right.
And you have to be empathetic and compassionate towards others. So once we see individuals with those types of qualities, we invite them to our meeting, and then we put them in. We have a WhatsApp group for them, so where we put all our prospective members and we work along with them. And then when we find that they have reached the point where they are ready to be inducted, then we have an induction ceremony.
I love that. So it's not just willy-nilly and you just come, because we know some people, let's be honest, some of us just look for opportunities to put things on our resumes or just sound bites. But I love that you have that transition period. You ensure that the incoming members understand what the organization is about. So they still have the option to opt out and say, this is not for me, or this is for me. And as we look to wrap up, let's go to our current president now. As you lead this esteemed organization into a new year, what can we expect from you? What programs, what's your vision?
Right. For our vision, as I would have mentioned earlier, to be a unifying force in Tobago.
Right.
And how we plan to do that, we have to find out what are the needs of our community. So first on the agenda is to do that community assessment to determine what it is. We don't just do projects willy-nilly, as you said before. We find out what are the needs, and then we institute projects that are based on those needs. Based on what we would have done in the past, some of the areas of focus that we are looking at and where we would have seen gap is in terms of youth empowerment, skills development, where persons have limited access to structured mentorship. And so we want to do more career guidance and entrepreneurship support. In terms of mental health and wellness, you hear a lot about that. So we want to in those cases where we have rising mental health and concerns, especially among young men and women, we want to institute programs or work with organizations where we would be able to help those persons. In terms of community economic development, you have that gap with unemployment, underemployment. So many young persons out there can't find jobs.
Right.
I have my niece, I have so many young people calling, and they can't find jobs. They have their qualifications, but there aren't enough jobs out there for persons. Right. I don't know what we can do, but we'll try to see how best we could work with the community, those organizations, to tap into those resources where we can help persons to alleviate some of those problems.
Encourage them to become entrepreneurs.
Yes, so that is why I would have said youth empowerment. That's one of the things on our agenda, youth empowerment and skills development.
Definitely.
Well, for those who know me, I'm a big advocate of technical vocational education and training. That's TVET. So me being in, that's my full-time job actually, in terms of technical and vocational coordinator. Right. So I plan to use that as well within the Rotary Club to see how we can promote technical vocational education and skills development. So that is something that persons can look forward to, because that is very much high on my agenda. And in terms of literacy and numeracy, we have that problem with adult literacy, digital literacy. Right. So it's working with those programs to those institutions that have those programs to help alleviate that problem as well. And Ms. Davis could tell you a lot about adult literacy, because she's big on reading and education. So that is something that we want that persons can look forward to from the Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago.
Right. So definitely, viewers, we have a lot to look forward to. And let's continue to look out for organizations like this. Some of you hear these names and you are curious, but you don't move forward. Even if you may not become a member or want to be so committed, I'm sure there are events and programs that the Rotary Club Southwest and even Tobago will be hosting. And you can decide, to contribute, to volunteer, whether it's your time, resources. I'm sure that you will be received with open arms. So thank you, ladies, for spending some time with us and letting us know about what's going on and some of the new faces and the faces that have been around carrying Rotary Club Southwest, through the reins for the last 20 years. Thank you so much again. Viewers, we go for a quick break. When we return, we meet another guest who's going to tell us about a spelling bee competition happening right here in Tobago. So stay tuned.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starter.
My name is Tina Macmillan, your last year's third place winner and Miss Photogenic for last year's Miss Heritage Personality Show. And this year, I want to carry you with me for my Tobago Heritage experience. I'll be hosting With Tobago Updates, bringing you live coverage behind the scenes and also their giveaways. Tickets to the heritage events and a 2-night stay to the Manzolina Grand. So you need to stay locked on to Tobago Updates on all their social media platforms, Kina Macmillan on Facebook and originalmedusa.tt on TikTok. my Tobago heritage experience with Tobago Update. Stay tuned.
Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I make a brush back. Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I make a brush back. Do something and do something. Alice.
Hey, I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 bottle of rum, DJ start the thing, let me jump. Cause I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 girls to a man, DJ start the thing, let me rum my shit. When my team touch down, everything get wild. Hey, 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 take out your flag and fling it up, take out something and fling it up, fling it up, fling it up high. Hey, 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 start to jump up and fling it up, take out something and fling it up.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, cause this is your show.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Lights, cameras, dance. Our 12th edition on Saturday the 12th of July, 5 p.m. The Shore Park Cultural Complex Auditorium. See our dancers, all ages, compete in waltz, jive, rumba, salsa, mambo, and much more. Our Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Who will take home the Mirrorball Trophy? Mrs. Takiana Ned Augustine, the wife of the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Miss Lynette Louis, vocalist entertainer. Mrs. Cassandra Thompson Forbes, journalist and Tobago correspondent. Mr. Javon Carrington, founder and head trainer of Dosfit Studios. And Mr. Julian Skeet, administrator and former TV host. After show, dance party with DJ Santa out of Trinidad. Early bird tickets, adults $200, children $75, and general tickets, adults $250 and children $100. Get your early bird tickets now from Dance Ensemble members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford the 24 gas station in Canaan, and the Shore Park Cultural Complex box office. For more information, you call 772-9049 and 340-5758. You can't miss this one.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. Down here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen, ooh, to the sound from deep within. It's only beginning to find release. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside and turned into your own, all 'cause you won't listen. I am alone at a crossroads.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. Of course, that clip that we saw is the late Kay Allen Maloney, and many of you would have been touched by her voice. That clip we saw was back from 2007 when she would have auditioned and subsequently would have won Digital Rising Stars 2007. Joining me this morning on set is Miss Sharon Phillips, no stranger. We know her, songwriter, designer, entertainer. You know it. You're talking about music. You're talking about large personality. Good morning, Miss Sharon Phillips, and thank you for, sitting with me to share some memories about Kay this morning. And joining us virtually is, again, someone who's no stranger to us, Mr. John Arnold, musical director, producer, musician, vocalist, teacher, and again would have shared special moments with Kay. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Arnold.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Where do you really start when you want to reflect on someone who would have meant so much and impacted so many of us? And Sharon, as I have you here in studio with me, the world was introduced to Kay really through Digital Rising Stars, but many people here in Tobago, those in Trinidad, would have worked with her, knew that voice, that powerful voice, quite some time before. What would you share about Kay?
Well, I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist faith,
right?
So I would have known Kay from a very young age, right? We would have been singing together in church, and I would have gone to CUC, now USC as well. I've been a student there, so I would have come across Kay as early as 15, 16 years old.
Right.
And we would have made a significant bond at that time in our lives as singers. And we were really fond of each other. So everywhere you would see Kay, you would normally see Sharon when she's around in Tobago. And they used to, it was slims and fats. And for, obvious reasons,
yes,
I was fat. It was funny because, after this, she went into Digital Rising Star. Her first husband was also my cousin. So we became extremely close.
Right.
She became a member of my band, Flame, as well. And we would have done significant work as a team, as a unit, as sisters. We became sisters pretty young in the game. I probably was about 21, 22 when we became that close. And we would have forged other bonds with other sisters like Delissa Wilson George and Adana Roberts. So we all sang together in one band. And we would have maintained that friendship and that love for culture, that love for the craft, that respect for the craft. She had an undying faith in God.
Yes.
And growing up in the church, we all have that, But with Kay, especially in the last few months, I saw a measure of faith that I have not seen from a lot of people who profess to be pastors, at that level.
Right.
She was really devout. She was a genuine individual. So if she didn't like something, her facial expression in 5 seconds would tell you that she didn't like it. But she was usually such a pleasant, like you couldn't know when Kay was angry up by face value, because she laughed at everything, and I really, it's really hard right now sitting here because we were extremely close. We regarded each other as sisters. We know everything about each other, and it would be very hard to put her to rest.
Of course, and so many people would have shared their own memories on social media. I can recall reading an experience from Josette Thomas. Josette also, grew up singing, and I know she said, Kay was like a big sister mommy to her. So she got the buff, but she had to take the buff because the buff was with plenty love, and she know that Kay wanted her to really come out as a performer, as a minister in gospel, and give her best all the time. And she would have shared fun memories. I know even for you, Josette, this is a hard time, and all the many others who would have loved her, would have worked with Kay, and even for those who may not have been that, have that personal relationship, but you knew her as an artist, what she would have delivered. And let me bring Mr. Arnold in. Of course, you would have worked with Kay, you would have known her. And if you can, feel free to share a memory about Kay, what you admired about her as we reflect on what she would have contributed.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things I would like to start by saying, good morning to you and all the viewers. Kay, as one person described her, she's a national treasure. And I say that without any kind of apology, because that voice is a very, Carl Beaver said it well, that in all his working days, that's probably the best voice he has encountered in Trinidad and Tobago. It doesn't negate the fact that we have several great voices.
Right.
But my memory of Kay, actually, I moved to tourism in 20, and I remember we had an aggressive campaign for the next 5-10 years on event tourism. And part of that involved not just festival and event tourism and actually all the niches that Tobago had, but we used to travel a lot. And that's when I kind of, because we had festival tourism going and also traveling to promote Trinidad and to promote Tobago. Kay Allen traveled a few times with me, and she was amazing. Everywhere we went with Kay would just mash up the place.
Right.
And then I also had her on some of the Signal Hill alumni shows. Chris, I remember one in particular because it was a Christmas concert. And again, she was outstanding. And I mean, throughout my interaction with Kay, right through, that was a powerhouse voice. That was a voice that never, and I think Sharon just said something, she always laughs. Yeah, she had this very distinctive laugh. Once you heard it, you know that was Kay. All right, and I mean, my reflection, I think we've really lost a real national treasure. She's young, and you know, it would have been good to have her around longer, but God knows best.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my memory there. Yeah.
And she was such a versatile musician because that voice, you know, whether it was gospel, whether it was jazz, it may have been pop, you know, she gave it her all. You know, some musicians, some vocalists are boxed in by a genre, but she had the ability just to cross over and still, you know, give it to you. Of course. You know, give it to you. She really would be missed. Yes.
No, I was just going to add that's a very important point you have just hit, because the problem with singers is that not many singers in Trinidad and Tobago can do the cross jar thing. And so it is really, really a good point you just hit. Kay could have moved from anything. She could do calypso too. She could do soca. It doesn't matter. She can make the switch. And that's when you have a great voice that you know and you command a good register, and she commands all the elements of a great vocalist. Power, dynamics, and also passion. She loves to sing, you know. So I think that was really, really something we will all miss. And as I said, the space will be poorer in terms of vocalists in Tobago and Trinidad.
Right. Sharon, let me bring you back in the conversation because I know really Kay is, you know, was very dear to you and will remain dear to you. When you look at a person like this and you are in the industry as well, you know, we see when someone great passes on, we talk about their excellence, we talk about this. And I remember someone asking, even with Kay's passing, you know, beside maybe recordings on YouTube, live stuff, you know, where can you purchase her music? What can you do? You know, what are we doing here?
I've seen a lot of people's contribution, and let me reiterate some very poignant points that may have crossed some people or slipped some people.
Right.
Kay would have been the reason for the Elevate program that would have started last year, May.
Okay.
Right? This initiative started because herself, Brian Clark, who is now deceased, and 2 other members of the VAPA community in Tobago were ill. And we made a conscientious decision to not just consistently be begging, because this will be a very bad precedent to set.
Right.
Because there are a lot of people that are not well in the VAPA community. So she called me and she said, "Sis, we have to do something. I am not well, and it's not me alone. And I know this might be a bit much for you, but we need to do something here." And that's how Elevate was born. Kay has started a legacy
And for those who don't know,
so for those who do not know
yes.
what Elevate was about, Kay came all the way to the, and this is the part that really, I have to say, it really hurt me, because it takes a certain measure of humility for a performing artist who is actively performing to come on national media and tell the entire world, listen, I have breast cancer, this is my situation, and I'm asking for your support.
Yes.
And when you look at the turnout, for example, of Elevate, it shows you how much we could have done to assist her.
Right.
That would have slipped across our head, because that was in aid of Kay
Right.
and in aid of Brian. Now, going forward, I hear people, having suggestions of what can we do to honor or to respect the artists.
Yeah.
Let's start by putting a little respect on how we treat our creatives in this space.
Right.
I hear lots of promoters talking about, in the aftermath. But the reality of it is that artists, especially people who depend on the creative sector, they don't have very many other financial bufferings for it.
Right.
My sister had nothing to prove here. She shut down Shaka Khan.
Yes.
And had
yes.
Shaka Khan singing back up for her.
Yes.
So that should tell you that the very next time she would have opened her mouth, she deserved the check that Shaka Khan got.
Right.
And that's simply what I'm trying to show Tobaconians. We've always been good enough. I came up under Mr. John Arnold and people like these, right, in this sector. And I would remember, Mr. Arnold would also remember, one of the very significant tours that we would have done representing Tobago. I almost died from an allergy reaction in the trailer bus. Right. We were in England. We were eating strange things that we don't have here in Tobago.
Right.
And I ate some kind of cheese that I wasn't supposed to eat. And it was Kay who recognized that I was not active. We were all jovial on the bus.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden I was missing. Then all of a sudden I couldn't breathe and I was blue. I literally owe the fact that I'm alive today to her observation and her love, that she didn't just sit there. And she held me and she made sure she fanned me. She made sure that I was good until Mr. Arnold and they were able to get me the medical assistance I needed. And I will never forget that. As I'm going through her stuff at my house, I'm looking at what has happened, how it happened. For this short space of time, I've lost Brian Clark. It's a hard year for me. I've lost Leandro Nori.
Yes.
And now I'm losing my sister as well, Kay.
Yeah.
And what we have done from Elevate, and this was one of the last things that she wanted to happen. We're going to have a very significant scholarship, right? It was already in play, but I'm going to allow the Secretary for Tourism and Culture to announce it, because it's going to be a part of the VAPA Creative Scholarship Program.
Right.
So we're going to have two significant scholarships from Elevate that are going to be in that program. And one would be the Kay Allen Scholarship, and the next one would be the Leandro Nori Scholarship. I have made a vow, a very significant vow, to backpedal a bit from the stage and see how best I can help my creatives to stop coming to this position where we extend our lives. I don't think that people see it, the way that it should. The respect given is when you see a creative in Tobago having a show, go out and support them. It takes nothing to buy a ticket.
True.
I remember how many people would have dropped off their children at the show for Elevate and then gone to Whim for Harvest, then come back to pick up their children. A moment missed. Support to an artist. Buy the ticket. It's not just in the aftermath now, doing things. Kay has been with the Elevate program, covered 84 students. It's now up to 227, right? So I just want Tobago to know she has been working. It has been a dying wish to have the VAPA department of Tobago significantly improved, especially the vocal department. And we're going to keep pushing with that. We're going to keep going in her memory. Her funeral is going to be at the University of the Southern Caribbean on the 29th. That's at Maracas Valley, St. Joseph, on the 29th of this month. So Tobagonians, we're going down in full force, and we're going to lift our voices in praise. And we're going to do a memorial here in Tobago. I'm just waiting for the confirmation of the date. But we're going to do a massive memorial in Tobago for Kay. She wanted music and food, no talk.
Yes,
And
yes.
we're going to give her what she wanted, music and memories.
And that sounds so much like her.
That was key.
That sounds so much like her. And of course, Mr. Arnold, as we wrap up, let me bring you in. Just when you talk about how you would have worked with her, and a person who is her personality, so strong, and you alluded to it, Sharon, where you spoke about she remained humble.
Yes.
You would have worked with many persons, Mr. Arnold. When you think about Kay and your professional interaction with her, and knowing that, she could have been a diva if she wanted to. What are your memories, and what would you share about that professionalism about Kay?
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, from the three perspectives from which I speak always is my professional, my personal, and my official. And all three of those persons in me agree that Kay was definitely an A class, an A game. And I'm not saying that because she has passed and we all say great things about people when they pass. I actually mean that. And that's the honest truth. I would have told her that several times before. My last really good memory of her as I'm speaking, there was this just after Kyle Festa in 2019. In 2020, there was this great, 2020 or 21, one of them, post-COVID, there was this great show, like an agricultural expo at the Savannah. They had set up the place similar to Kyle Festa. And I remember she performing with a band with Carl Beaver Henderson. He was managing the band. And I remember patrons asking if that was somebody they had brought in from away. And I remember having to tell a gentleman. I had to say, no, she's homegrown, man. She's from right here.
Yeah.
Because they could not believe somebody was doing these covers with such authenticity that they actually thought she was alive. But I think our cultural confidence needs to move in a positive direction to know we have the talent right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And all we need is the proper and right training. And, things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that maybe out of this unfortunate happening, that one of the things that may come, I heard Sharon allude to some things that are going to happen from the secretary announcing. Let's hope, and I see even bigger things in the space for music in Tobago, but today is not the time for that kind of exposition. Yeah.
Right. And I want to really thank both of you for spending this time. I know it's emotional. I know Sharon, this is your sister, and you would have shared so many moments, not just personal, but even professionally. And I really hope that, for me, there's always a lesson to learn out of someone's passing. And I do hope that you would have shared some of the issues in the creative industry, but just remembering Kay Allen, Maloney, what she would have done. My most recent memory, which gave me even more respect for her, is even in her illness, she would have supported, I think one of the schools here in Tobago had a Christmas concert.
Yes.
And, she would perform and then go and lie down in the back, and she would come back out and who does that? You're so ill, yet you would have made this commitment and you honored it. I know many churches in Trinidad in the Adventist community would have held, beautiful sessions of praise and to raise funds for her. And, and she would show up. She didn't have to, but she would show up to say thank you and to let people know, I see what you're doing for me. And that for me meant volumes and spoke volumes.
As you say that, on behalf of Tobago, on behalf of all the creatives, on behalf of Flame, on behalf of Elevate, on behalf of everyone, to Mr. Ornell, to Stacy and Kurt, our deepest condolences. Kay was a personality, especially at home, right? Because she would come and take over the house by me, because my kids are her godchildren. So when she's in Tobago, sometimes she'll stay by me, and she would always say, Sharon, we have to do something, we have to do something. They had to treat we good when we are alive. And this is my aim, this is my goal, this is my drive now, to ensure that Tobago, especially Tobago creatives, that are pushing and doing the work, because this is very important that she did the work, right? And it's important that we push for camaraderie, but also push for higher levels and higher standards. She was a professional, she was also a perfectionist, and she was a passionate person on all levels. As Mr. Arnold would have said, she was a stellar A game from the day I met her till the day she passed. And in her honor, Tobago, we rise. We rise together as a creative collective now. We do things in a proper way. We come together, Mr. Arnold and myself, we come together. We do things that would elevate and lift the standard in Tobago, because I know we could do it. I know we have the talent, we have the drive, we have the professional people who can help and come together. It's not a competition, you know, it's love, it's all love. And I think that in Kay's honor, we should now, going forward, stop waiting to posthumously award and consider people. Support them when they are alive.
That's right.
Support the events, support the shows, go out, buy the tickets, buy the merchandise, buy the music. Sometimes it's as simple as liking and sharing the music on your platform. We have to change the attitude here. Because now I feel like we could have done a lot more when it was needed. And now all we could do is look back on a life, by the way, well lived. I am honored to say this was my sister, and I will put her down with grace and pride.
And thank you so much, you know, for sharing on this touching matter for so many of us, so many of you viewers. And I invite you, even, you know, as you go through today, the next coming days, you have a memory you like to share, you know, feel free to share it on our social media platforms, and let's just keep this name going, keep her memory alive, and let's really stop just talking, but follow up with the action. So thank you, Mr. Arnold. Thank you, Ms. Phillips, for sharing with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Viewers, I know many of you were touched by Kay and her music, and, you know, the call is, let's really come out and support our creatives. It's, you know, it's great to have your flowers after, but it's even better to have your flowers while you're alive. So we go to a quick break, and when we return, we have 2 more guests. We'll meet quickly, separate topics. We have our spelling bee individual who will tell us about it, and of course Janae Jones. I think I gave her a different surname earlier on, right? Janae Jones interact, and we'll hear from her as well. Thank you, viewers, and of course stay with us as we get ready to meet these 2 other individuals.
All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice, yes. You've led me through the fire in darkest nights. You were close like no other. Said I've known you like a father. I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Oh, yes. All my life you have been faithful, yes. All my life you have been so good. Every prayer that I
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. You are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago. Sitting with me is Miss Esther Ali, CEO of Palmstar Promotions. We are going to talk about a spelling bee. How many of you are brave and bold enough to learn your list of words and stand before judges and spell your words? Miss Ali, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, darling. Thank you for having me again.
So I know this isn't the first year. How long have you been leading this spelling bee event in Tobago?
This is our third year.
Okay.
And we are proud to continue the efforts, and we are happy with the level of participants we've had, and we look for a continuous growth with the participants and greater achievements for them as we target our students being primary school levels, and it's helped to build their courage and their knowledge. So when they go off to high school, they feel more confident with the whole system that they have been involved in with us.
Right. So tell us, where is this event and
it's
when?
It's at Lowlands Mall tomorrow. Registration starts from 7 to 8 a.m. We have quite a number of students registered, and we are still welcoming other students who are interested. And parents, please bear in mind, even though your child has finished writing SEA and we got the results, I got a lot of results from Tobago, a lot of my children has done very well.
Right.
Please bring them out. You can check me at Lowlands Mall today from 10 until about 6 this afternoon, or you can come in the morning and register your child. It is spelling and vocabulary. It's a word to spell, a word to meaning, and a word in the correct context of a sentence, and a bit of local words from Tobago and Trinidad in terms of the Kutisi Kutula.
Oh, excellent. I love that aspect of it because, you know, there are some of us who say that's not a language.
Well, it is a language.
Most definitely. I love that, and it's about keeping the young ones intact with their history and identity as well. What time does the event start?
8:30 a.m. It's an all-day event, so please bear in mind, folks who are bringing their children, it's an all-day event. It is going to be preliminary, semi, and then grand final and prize giving. We have Dairy is going to be there giving away samples and tokens. We have Universal Foods as well as going to be there doing the same. We also have their mascots, so they have opportunity with photo op opportunities. At this time, I would really like to say thank you and thank God for Charon's bookstores on the East-West Corridor, Trinity, Tunapuna, Diego Martin, and San Juan, who are now opening their bookstore here in Lowlands Mall. And I am spearheading the whole transition. Right? They have believed in the children of Tobago, and they have never stopped sponsoring since we started. We look forward to parents who are interested in getting their books. Please come to me today and bring your book list. We will officially open in a few days' time. We just had a little hiccup in terms of the renovation completion time.
Right.
So we are looking to complete by Monday, so we can say safely by Wednesday. So please check me, bring your book list, put your name and your contact number in it, and we can discuss it, and I can WhatsApp you the cost. We're also providing balance parcels for families in Tobago. We know how expensive and costly it is to have a book list covered at any age, from preschool to secondary to university level. So we are here to support and help. Thank you to NATCO, thank you to JMMB, who has just opened in Lowlands Mall, who has already done very well with us and continue to support us in Trinidad and in Tobago. We are very grateful to Synergy TV, who has been endorsing what we've been doing for the last few months and continue to stand by our side. And the management of Lowlands Mall, who have sought our interests as we have sorted theirs.
Right.
Thank you to them.
And of course, what made you get involved in something like this?
God gave me a call in during COVID. He said, go out there and educate my future leaders of this nation. And I said, Lord, what should I do? And he said, spelling. And I said, Lord, everybody doing spelling. You speak to Jesus as if he's your friend. And he said to me, he said, okay, vocabulary. So I entwined the both and I did spelling and vocabulary. And companies like NATCO started with us and they are back with us as well. Sharon's has been with us from day one.
Right.
Dairy as well. So we have companies that stayed with us and grow. And children look forward to their little tokens and the giveaways.
Right.
When it comes to giveaways, we have an overall winner trophy for this competition. We are giving trophies to the top standard 3, 4, and 5. And we also have students from standard 2 in this competition. All children in the grand final will receive certificates and medals based on their position. They will receive hampers and vouchers from Sharon's Bookstore. I am sorry to say we don't have as much gifts to give as we normally do.
Right.
But the economy and the transition between budget and
Of course,
Mother's Day and
everything
SCA,
that's happening.
Yes. But next year it's going to be much better in the prizes, but they have wonderful gifts to get as it is right now.
And of course, for those who may not be a competitor or participant, bring your crew, bring support, right?
Yes.
It's always good to know that someone down there is cheering. So organize your cousins, it's holiday time.
It's an
parents
fun-filled day.
organize, yes, and come out and support those who are bold, as I said, and brave enough to be a part of this competition.
In the past, we've had winners from Tobago come to Trinidad and win Trinidad students.
Yes.
Jean Thomas was the first one from Signal Hill. We have Faith Hazel, who came to Trinidad with 20 of her fellow students to battle against our students, and she became the overall winner in Tobago in her time. And she just wrote essay, and she's back in the competition with us. She attended Delaford. And I'm proud to see Faith and all my students are walking through Tobago, and children I haven't seen since first competition. Look, Auntie Esther, screaming at the top of their voice. And Auntie Esther, if it wasn't for you, I wasn't going to have all this confidence and courage.
Excellent.
And I'm going off to Form 2 now. So God bless you all, our past, present, and future children. Parents, any questions, please feel to call me on 471-2604. Bring your booklets, come and get your opportunities as well, courtesy Sharon's Bookstore.
Right, so we must thank you for sharing that event with us. Viewers, we go for a quick break. When we return, we meet Miss Janae from Interact, so stay tuned.
Passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly.
Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us, and welcome back. Sitting with me this morning is Miss Janae Jones. You see, I'm doing that again. I don't know. So Miss Janae Jones, and I have to add the Miss because she is not just, hanging around. She is sitting in the capacity of the president of the Interact. And if you know, the Interact Club, it is like the junior club to Rotary, if I can say that, yes?
Yeah.
And I want to thank you so much for sitting with me so we can hear a little bit. We heard about the Southwest Rotary Club this morning, and it's always good to know how young persons can be involved. Now, Janae, you are currently a student at Bishop's High School, Form 6, right? So we know that a lot is going on for you to hold that down. And then you're also a dancer. I know you would have performed last night at the Heritage opening at Shaw Park Cultural Complex, and you were here bright and early this morning waiting for your interview slot just to roll around. So, all of that is happening, yet you are holding down the presidency of this institution. How do you do it?
All about creating a balance and having a schedule and allotted time slots to get things done. You have to stick to your schedule because it could become really overwhelming.
Right.
And also, it's not just me alone. My parent club, Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago, they are always ready to assist. And there are other board members, they're vice presidents, secretaries, PROs. So the task is delegated. It's not that bad.
So tell us about Southwest Interact. The age group of its members, some of the projects. I know you are also former president, so you are continuing, as the new president in this term. How do you bring young people together, and what's the goal of Interact?
Okay, so the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago is a Rotary-sponsored club, meaning Rotary Club is like our parents and we are the children.
Right.
And the club aims to encourage persons between the ages of 12 to 18 to partake in community development projects, and we also have leadership development activities because our aim is to encourage young persons to be the leaders of tomorrow and to create change, positive change that is, and to take the initiative rather than waiting on someone else to get it done, as our motto is service above self.
I like that, service above self. And I didn't realize, and I'm glad, sometimes you think you have so much information, but I'm glad that I asked that question in terms of your age group, because I didn't realize you started as young as 12.
Yeah, once you're in high school, which is around the age 12, 12 to 18, Interact is all yours.
Right, and parents, we are always looking for activities for our children. This is really worthwhile. You're teaching them to volunteer, and I like, the service above self. It's not always about you. And I always encourage us to be our brother's keeper. We have become so self-centered, living in our own corners. We like to say, I stay in my lane. But sometimes you have to come out to care for that brother, care for that sister, your neighbor, your classmate. So that's excellent. Tell us some projects, upcoming projects, or even past projects that Interact would have been involved with.
Okay, so we have done beach cleanups, we have painted benches, we have resume writing. Upcoming, we want to clean some more beaches. Because Tobago full of so much beaches.
Yes.
To clean some beaches. We always have a breakfast sale. I know there is a hummingbird facility. We're trying to go there as well.
Right.
And I was also made aware that there's a bee facility.
Right.
We're trying to go there.
Right.
And something to do with the coral reefs as well. So that's what we are trying to do in the upcoming year.
Right. How can those 12 to 18-year-olds become a member of Interact?
Okay, so what you can do is you can DM us at the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago on Instagram, or you can contact any of our members. We are all over Tobago, every school, and they have their Interact pins. They wear it in school, so you can just look out for those little details. However, but if you can't get onto any of those persons, you could just contact us via our Instagram. It may take a while to answer, but we will answer you. And all you have to do is attend 3 consecutive meetings and 2 community projects, and you're interactive.
All right, excellent. And I love that, again, just like with your parent club, that volunteerism and really getting persons to give back. I think that's so integral in bringing up our children of today, because our children of today seem to get a lot of material things from parents, and it's a bit easier now, and I'm just generalizing, it's a bit easier, you have the technology, everything seems to come a bit easier and faster, and they don't sometimes realize this is not life. There's a lot of other stuff going on out there. So a way you can expose them, sometimes as parents, we can't do everything in training that child, but there are support systems like Interact who provide that support system and that avenue. I would let you, in closing, just encourage, sometimes you have parents who are listening to us now, listening to you, and they are interested, and you have some who, wavering, I don't have time for that. So I will allow you to share that plug. Encourage parents to get your children, and even those who are of age, the older teens who are listening in, to be a part of Interact.
Okay, so parents, guardians, I'm encouraging you guys to allow your children to partake in Interact. It is a wonderful opportunity. As somebody that is in 6th form heading off to university, you're heading into that part, it looks good on your resume. It looks really nice.
Yes.
We have multiple projects. Your kids would remain entertained. We are not time consuming, and we're not demanding. Our meetings are like twice a month.
Right.
At the Scarborough Library General area. What do you call that?
Yes.
Scarborough Library?
Yes.
Yes. So it's not demanding, it's light work, and it's fun. It's really fun. We have projects, we help persons in need, Christmas hamper drives, Mount Pleasant Credit Union Christmas party. Go on the Instagram, take a look, familiarize yourself with what we do to make your decision. But Interact is worth it.
Excellent, and I love that. I can't say it any better. I'll just repeat it. Interact is worth it. And of course, if you start off in Interact, there's an expected transition, into the parent club, Rotary Club Southwest. You get Rotaract and then Rotary. So you see, I love that. So it's about growth and development, right? So we start off at Interact, we go to Rotaract, that's where you have your youths, young adults, and then you transition into Rotary. So it's about a life of service, evolving as the theme would suggest as well. So thank you so much, Miss Janae Jones. So you understand why I add the Miss onto her name, right? She knows what she's about, and she's assisting and giving back. And as we wrap up, viewers, I just want to remind you, I know it is the book season. Yes, a lot is happening, parents. I know it can be a frustrating time, but you don't have to be. I just want to mention, the bookstores on the island. We have Educators, Pages, Gums, NSL. There's books and office supplies. Miss Nelson and you know, these bookstores are there to help serve you. Check them out. And I know there's one in the East as well. So Tobago is well poised. There are many options. And we know that many of our young persons have been knocking at these doors, and these organizations and businesses have been hiring our young persons for the July-August vacation and continue to support the economy here in Tobago. And with that, I remind you, you are your brother's keeper. It's Friday. The weekend has begun. And let's just be safe out there. So until next time, we do this all over again, GMT Monday with Chanel. So make sure you are here, and even for a morning show with Adana and Akinlabi. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, I am Dr. Faith Brubner, Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary for Health, Wellness and Social Protection. So we are here at the orientation for the TRHA internship. This is the third year we're having this internship, and it really is an opportunity for young people to see the inner workings of the healthcare sector. And the inner workings of the healthcare sector would allow them to determine their career paths, and it's really just an opportunity for them to understand how healthcare really works and to see how they can be a part of that future.
Hi, I'm Jaylene Jennings-Henry, former TRHA intern 2024. My experience with the TRHA internship program has been wonderful. I have gained a lot of experience, met new people. I did not go into the position that I wanted to go into, but the position that they placed me gave me an immense amount of opportunities. I met new people. I worked really hard. I was outstanding, and I was given more opportunities to the future and gained some new contacts. Absolutely. I would recommend this program because you will, as I said, you would gain more opportunities. You would meet new people. It has certain parts in life that may be dull to you, things that have not been brought to your attention as a young adult, that they would enlighten you on, not just in the workspace, but in life itself, in finance, in house building, in getting a car. All of these things, business, would help you as a young person going into the work world and as an adult.
My name is Jabari Darlington, and I am a past TRHA 2024 intern. No, I would not recommend it for the hospital alone, because I am someone who does not plan to get into the medical field after I finish my studies. And seeing as the internship was all inclusive, I don't think it should just be limited to the hospital alone, but the office area is important as well in day-to-day activities, even within the hospital.
Hi, my name is Janae Nicholas, and I'm a part of the 2025 TRHA Summer Internship Program. For this program, I came into it anticipating to have a good hands-on experience in the healthcare sector. Specifically, I would love to learn more about the back-end things that helps the entire healthcare system to work, namely in biomedical engineering, how the equipment is maintained and repaired, and all the other paperwork and everything else that goes into it.
My name is Ellis Joel. I am a first-time participant in the TRHA Summer Intern Programship. My expectations from this program is to, one, develop my leadership skills and proceed forward in becoming a better leader, exploring and getting hands-on development in the area of engineering, as well as expanding my knowledge to see where in the healthcare industry can I continue and improve and bring my knowledge as an electrical engineer in the biomedical area to develop healthcare and even other parts of society around the world.
My name is Dela Baker, and I'm a first-time participant of the TRHA Summer Internship Program. Well, what I expect from this program is to gain a better understanding on the work world and to understand how the health system works. I am an aspiring psychologist, and I believe that this program can be very beneficial to me so that I can gain more knowledge. For future participants, I hope that they are able to as well gain this knowledge, and I hope that this program can continue so that it can better our community and better the lives of all the youth.
My name is Giselle Gittins-Peters. I am the Vice Chairperson for the Tobago Regional Health Authority's Internship Committee. So the truth is the TRHA would have started this internship program years ago, but then COVID came and voila, here we are. So the 2023 installment of the internship would have seen the reintroduction of the internship here at the Tobago Regional Health Authority. And the idea is to expose as many young Tobagonian students to what the healthcare industry has to offer. It is a dynamic ecosystem, and well, COVID would have taught us, listen, we need to do things better. So the internship is really like a gauge into preparing our young people into the world of work, into the entry into healthcare. And even if it is they don't come back to the healthcare industry itself, the skills that they would have been taught, the experiences, the networking, it would set them apart as part of the wider world of work. Oh, and that's one of the beautiful things with our program. This is not just for persons who probably have an interest in pharmacy, nursing, medicine. We have students from across the board. We have biomedical engineers, we have teachers, we have psychologists, we have persons who are actually doing what we call the traditional trades. So yes, we are allowing persons from a various cross-section of education to participate in the program. And like you said, it is not just doctors and nurses that make up this ecosystem. We have all these other allied health, and this is one of the ways that we get these persons to come on board to appreciate what it is we are trying to do here in Tobago.
I am Assemblyman Megan Morrison, area representative for the electoral district of Mount St. George Goodwood, and the Assistant Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. This summer internship is a way to bring much needed resources to the health institution. Initially, this program started, I think, with 50 participants. I think that number has increased. So already we have expanded the program. And as the need arises, I see the program going from strength to strength as the need becomes necessary.
Summer 2025.